You know, Lux is all skill shots, even though the E is really easy to hit. But I think there's nothing easier to hit than a Karma Mantra Q.
Yeah, and you can also do the Mantra Inspire and just turn Pyosik into a rocket, winning the lane.
Yep, really a lot of value there, and I think important. You know, we talked about the bot lane already being behind. I think Closer being able to add some reprieve makes a big difference. They will secure that dragon as well, which is crazy. You know, you can obviously understand why, because that mid priority, but crazy how badly the bot lane has gone, and yet they managed to pick up first dragon.
Yep. Laning phase, she's really good. It's just in the mid game after the laning phase is kind of broken and you're just positioning your AD carry in mid lane, you're not getting that sieging value as
that's the damage I'm talking about.
The damage, yeah.
A slow push now. Handback is trying to find his way in.
Yeah, looking for an angle. DNF still playing aggressively. You've got a rotation down here as Pyosik to move in, but the immediate engage. Crash into the wall is Humbug, does have access to the ulti as there's the Impale, but Pyosik still in trouble. Fate's Call gets a double knockup, and Pyosik with a whole bunch of sticks in him, gonna get them ripped out as Hype grabs himself first blood. Much needed money over to the Kalista.
Absolutely, and you saw the benefit of the bailout there coming through for Polo. Yes, Berserker life, it's so much pressure. You know, he was still level 5. Yep. That was potentially costly, does manage to get away. This could still just be the tower going down. But I think, you know, getting the kill out of that situation, you'll take it. Yep. Caitlyn. This hasn't drastically changed. You know, we're hyping it up, but we're not.
And he got soloed to like turret gold as well, getting first brick. Like, yeah, it's still huge.
It was a needed injection of gold for hype, but it doesn't drastically change what happened in the laning phase and the fact that there's already a tower gone. But we do see Bro picking up.
Should be 6 scrubs.
Yeah, should be. So Handback hasn't been able to impact bot lane. Obviously, unfortunately for Hype and Polo, but he's been doing a good job of picking up these objectives. You'd assume that DNF would be able to pick up the dragon in return.
First item done as well, but I don't know whether it's going to be quite enough.
Yeah, I think the item timings are actually good for Bro to fight. They're just not there in time, and with the trap line set up, no way to get in. The Freecs will pick up the dragon. Positive for them. And it is a Hextech Soul, so a pretty high value one, but it's still just crazy to me that Bros had such a monopoly on these early objectives despite what happened in the bot 2v2.
All ultimates available now.
I should think DN Freecs would want to fight this, at least get a look in.
Well, right now we've got some Qs flying around from Life, but not really finding too much joy. Teleport in from the Rumble. Let's see whether this equalizer is going to work out or whether he's even going to use it. The rest of Bro just backing away. They've got a blast cone here if they want to utilize it as Hype gets flashed on here by Pyosik. Not a lot of follow-up, but there is the equalizer that we were looking for. The flash out, the bailout is there, and Pyosik is going to get taken down. Polo actually getting the kill somehow. And Morgan, ace in the hole, flies through, but that's not going to be nearly enough to take him down.
Lose Pyosik in return.
Yeah, and Hype with no summoner spells, not actually able to walk over and try and defend that, so
Freecs with a Caitlyn, you want to get set up and have those traps, but Grove just pushed in brute force to find positioning on the dragon.
Teleport advantage at full force here as Polo possibly out of position. Ace in the hole, and he's almost dead, flashing pretty late as the smite fight goes over to Humbug. Nicely played by the young players.
Push the pace of this game. Now they are getting a setup here. 4 traps covering this choke, but that's the kind of the limit for Caitlyn at this level, so if Bro can find an angle to loop round, they can definitely contest this one.
Yeah, Closer looking for an angle here as Bulldog takes half of his health bar. It is going to be the Rift Herald secured by Pyosik. Humbug a little bit late as he moves in. Still wanting a bit of a fight here as we can see. Polo, Fate's Call, pulls him in. The flash out from Life, but he immediately gets public executed. Morgan looking for an angle here. He's got the bailout and he uses it. Still is going to go down as Emperor's Divide gets a little bit of safety here, but it's a good handshake as Hype not able to get over the Sand Soldiers. Still 2-for-1 trade, and you'll take that if you're Bro, and they also get themselves the feats of strength. Flash out from this Ambessa, and Dudu has teleport available.
And Morgan doesn't.
Yeah. This is a huge deal. Humbug looking for an opportunity here to try and take them down. He does still have his ulti and decides to go in onto Bulldog, utilizing it here. But Dudu with that teleport is going to turn up. And now they have the extra life. They are going to be able to get the recall, but that is going to be a kill from Pyosik. And finally, DNF come alive. Hype just trying to send as many of them back home as he can. But he is going to be taken out himself. And that's a kill going over to Berserker. For the first time in this game, DNF win a fight, and it's a big one.
This one up, because chunking out Morgan, kind of keep him invested and then TPing over, ensure they had the numbers advantage. And I think honestly for Bro, should have just let it go.
Yeah.
Are looking to contest this. This is risky, though. I mean, they have TP from Morgan, and Bulldog's top without TP, so maybe a mismanagement from the DN Freecs.
Yeah, that's a teleport in. That is going to be soul point secured there by Humbug, and it's because Bulldog's not there. DNF do back away, which I think was smart, but the fact that they had to is the problem.
It is ludicrous that with this gold lead, oh
dear. Okay, Pioshik going to get a crash into Morgan. Another public execution going to stop him from pulling him back, though, and Morgan actually finding the angle onto Dudu. Pioshik's very tanky, but Closer does so much DPS. They take down the Kalista, though. Another recall is forced. Bro are limping away, but they're going to do so successfully as Berserker's health bar is blinking. But remember, they're only 200 gold as they're walking towards the Bros. Closer's still looking for that angle, and they do manage to pick up that 200 gold from Life. And Bulldog still farming in that top lane. Now, Bro, all they need to think about is playing around Dragon over and over again as Closer does get a lot of damage onto Life, but now Bro find themselves in an awkward position. Polo not going to get bailed out of that one, and that's DN Freecs managing to get a pick.
3 items from this Kalista, giving Berserker such confidence, but also just, you know, no Kalista ult available to save Polo from that one. Closer doesn't connect his abilities onto Berserker.
Aaron.
They're doing so much damage here. They're going to have to try and take this fight 4v5. Without the Renata, it's so hard.
Well, in goes Humbug. He finds the ulti as well. Life in a bit of trouble, but there's the equalizer down. A flash out from Humbug gets him to relative safety. They've stopped the Baron, but at what cost? The 2-man impale! And both Morgan and Hype are on the floor. Bro now having to escape from this one, and DNF will go straight back to the Purple Worm.
Not going to let their previous mistakes rattle them. DN Freecs take control, and playing around these 3 items on Berserker, they've got such confidence. They set up for the Baron, and they will be able to secure this. This gold lead was already large. Really going to balloon at this point.
Oh yeah, the 6 grubs actually mean, and for Bro, they haven't been able to utilize it at all.
Yep. And now looking for a bit of a flank here from Closer, but they can just rotate towards the top side. They have a wave coming in anyway. No way the Bro can approach, so there should be a pickup.
Yep, the defensive Dudu as well is certainly going to be helpful. So like you were saying, I don't think that Bro have, you know, too much to worry about here, giving away a second dragon here, the first Hex deck for DNF.
Through Celestial Opposition.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah. Scary to be playing Renata into this. We do see them going to be able to take this tower here. Even without Baron, their pushing power is still so extreme. I do think getting the inhibitor, DN Freecs need to hard force this.
Well, Closer looking for an angle here as he flashes in, gets over to the other side. He has some one-on-one time with Berserker, but he gets a huge shield. And another crash here onto Morgan. They take down Humbug, but the Impale does absolutely nothing. Berserker's just free hitting though, taking whatever he wants and their lunch money. Hype running the wrong direction. And the DN Freecs are looking like they're going to crush the Bros here in game 1.
And, you know, it wasn't a flawless game, but I think the player who was flawless is Berserker. You know, they gave him the Caitlyn, confidence into the Kalista, and he's just dominated from minute 1. Hype, yeah, this is kind of summary of how the game went.
Yeah, that's some mechanics there from Dudu, pressing the Q button and walking near him. And Nexus turret's going to fall. I thought that Bro's composition was nicely put together. I thought some of their fights in the early game were pretty good, but DN Freecs, they controlled the map and they took down the Bros here in game 1.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.